Okay, so here's what I recommend for making this code more manageable. Because all of this code is really about creating this table structure that I was showing you. So what I would do is create another function. Okay, I'd come over here and I would say function, right? And I would name it, which is render TBL heading. It's long, but it tells you what it is. Okay. Okay. So now the question would be, what does it need? Right? Think about this. I've passed in the whole array, but nowhere in here have I referenced this. So when I call this, and I would do it from in here, I wouldn't do it from down here because you're calling render table. Render table, what we know now, is really doing this whole structure. So here's what I would do. I would cut this out, come up here, paste it here. Okay, you just slow down as I do this. And now here, in here, I still want to have that table structure so that I can then continue to build on it. So what I would do inside of here is I would set that table variable equal to render table headings and just calling the function. Now what's key if I'm going to do this? Okay, let's think about this. How do I get the reference in? Because remember, I can call it because it's block scoped. Meaning I can call it table here. I called it table here. First, get that. And then when I call the function, if I want something that I then use in this, sorry, did I say global scope before? I meant block scope. If I want it here, then what I'd do here, the last thing I would do, actually here's what I would do, is I would take this, first of all, let's do it one step at a time, okay? I would return table, but I'd get rid of this. Okay, so because I don't want to append yet the entire table because I have more to build. So I'd say, okay, create that table, and then the last thing I'm going to end up doing after I do more coding here, okay, is I'm going to append it. Again, this is the expensive. I keep calling it the expensive. Really what that means is that you don't want to do it too much, as I've said before, because it is slower. So what do I need to do next? And that's what we'll do on the next code along. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and set you up with the challenge that I want you to attempt now creating. And you can hard code it for now, right? Just have to create one TR. So create body, TR, TDs, hard code in some values, and at least create one row and see. So that's your challenge starting in, again, this is for your Monday item. So for your Thursday item, if you want to go ahead and attempt it, that's what your first thing is going to be on that item, which is attempt this code challenge of creating the table body with hard coding the values. And then of course probably you already starting to think, yeah, well after that then I'll have you actually render this dynamically based on the input. We'll first hard code it. In this case, we're not hard coding it like we are here, but we are hard coding the values that will then take later. But for the next code along, when you see this, you might have to reference back if you've waited between, which is fine. But by the way, before we go, let us make sure we didn't break something, because it could happen, right? You write code, you should always check what you wrote. Good, good. Okay, last thing I was tempted to actually clean this up right here, but I'm going to leave this in place because it's good to have that reference, I think, when you're writing code. So that's your challenge for next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Your comment for this one, update. Yeah, so in this case, some of you may have gotten this. So give me some kind of, you have to commit your code one way or the other. So, give me a comment inside the code so you do have something to commit if you already got it. Otherwise, put updating my code so that we make sure that on the next one we're all starting with similar code. All right, hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you later.